Before we proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you, so if you could just scroll down and take a look at the description right now, you will see I have provided chapters. So, for example, if there's a certain skin that's caught your eye right now that you can see right here in front of you, that you just desperately need to see right now, well, skip ahead. The option's available to you. Just look at the description. All the chapters are there. And so that, good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the July Force Wipe Rust rotation for 2025. Now, some of you might be sitting there and saying, didn't you say there's going to be some friend-themed skins being accepted, hey, Mr. Hedge? Yes. So you might be sitting there wondering, well, where are they? So, in the description of this video, scroll down, there it is. You'll see that there's a brand new Rust Skin Makers Discord. This is the official Skin Makers Discord. And the response was, Helk didn't like any of the friend-themed skins. That's the answer. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a bit awkward. I know. Quite a lot of them were submitted, but not everyone was doing it. And out of all the ones that did do it, apparently none of them looked appealing enough, so they didn't accept any of them. I know. Okay. I mean, that's all I can say. That's all I can pass on. But, yeah, I'm sure many of you are fully well aware that we've had this July Force Wipe, the Friends with Benefits update. Mostly quality of life, fixes, additions. But the brand new party system has been implemented, along with a brand new, awesome-looking video showcasing all the stuff that's been added so far this year. But it's also implying stuff that they're going to add later this year. So we'll talk more about that towards the end of the video. Again, look in the description, look at the chapters. You'll see certain things that might catch your eye. But yeah, party system has been implemented. Not everybody was super thrilled about it. And you can, offer your own opinions in regards to that. You're more than welcome to do so. So comment below. But yeah, nothing like super insanely substantial. But still nice to see. But the next major proper update appears to be happening later this year. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, okay, cool. You can go see the blog post in your own time if you so wish. But let's hop back over to here. And let's talk about, out of all these skins, right, which ones are abnormal? So let's hop over to here. Now, I've already got it prepared to showcase to you the skins that are not abnormal. So, the Island Assault Team boots, they did appear the very next Rust Star. Wow. But they're also not abnormal like the gloves. That could be a bit of a worry, but we'll talk more about that in a bit in terms of, is it going to be an alright investment? Because I don't think it's in the exact same type of position as the gloves were the previous week, so we'll talk more about that in a bit. But I can also confirm that the Stinger Crossbow, a transparent crossbow? What? There's only one other crossbow like that, and we'll do some comparisons in a bit, don't you worry. But yeah, that's not abnormal. That could be a bit of a worry. Maybe that might sell a little bit too much. We'll talk more about that in a bit. The modern military sap, that's not abnormal, and the Croco BAR action rifle, that is also not abnormal, which of course means all the other skins, they are abnormal, and they will become marketable at an earlier set time next week, Wednesday night, as we roll into Thursday morning. If you have no idea what abnormals are, what regular skins are, consider hopping over to my YouTube right now. Consider watching my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video for July 3rd, 2025, which you will see right over to here. And what I'll sit here and suggest is, consider watching the first 5 minutes, then scroll down, skip ahead to the Barders chapter, and you'll get the general gist. You'll understand that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the Rust even rotates. We can figure out prices beforehand, and then of course, knowing when the skins become marketable, we'll race to put those Barders down, and then afterwards look at the abnormal Barder support, and we'll make considerations in regards to, do we actually think that these skins are going to retain their value? Do we actually think that they're going to turn out to be nice investments in the future? We could get an early insight, and it will help us feel more confident to just straight buy from the Rust store. So, you might be sitting there and saying, okay, that's all fine and well and whatnot, but did you actually buy anything, Mr. Hedge? Oh, yes, I did. I just so happened to buy 100 Island Assault Team roadside gloves and 20 No Mercy sheet window double doors. But just to quickly point out, these were not they were not abnormal. But they're in a very interesting spot, and I'll talk more about that in a second because I've got to generalise and talk about the whole Rust store in a bit. But I don't think the boots are in the exact same type of position as these are. So we'll elaborate in a bit. Let's quickly hop back over to here though. So that's the current Rust store. You know which skins are not abnormal. Let's just close these and let's go get a quick insight in regards to how all the skins are in terms of their upvotes and downvotes and whatnot that you see on Steam. And as you can see, pretty much all of them were up by 2. So every single one had at least 2 upvotes per 1 downvote. So this does appear to be a fairly in-demand Rust store. Lots of skins here were, viewed positively, so that's a nice thing to see. So let's now go over to here and just generalize in regards to what we see and talk about certain interesting, notable things. Some of you might be sitting here and saying, where's the Heatseeker skins? Good eye. Well, here's a funnier thing. The most recent Heatseeker skin submitted to the workshop, that was an LR300 and a SAP. You notice we have an LR300 here and a SAP here. Perhaps that implies Face Punch probably doesn't want to continue the collection. And also, we did, showcase this in the previous video last week. The Heatseeker collection is now delving into clothing and armor. We haven't seen a submission yet, but the skin creator, he is currently working on hoodie and pants, and I am expecting those to be submitted this upcoming weekend. So, if you're worried about like the weapons, well, it looks like we're now moving towards clothing and armor now, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so that's just to keep you in the know. Cool. Now, looking at all these skins, I probably have already mentioned it, but we do have some interesting collection continuations. So, Island Assault, No Mercy, and funny enough, No Mercy skin literally the week after a No Mercy skin, so okay, that's pretty cool. We've got Training Collection making a return, Modern Military, Croco, and of course, Apocalypse Nomad. But here's the funny thing. One pattern I brought up to you over the past few weeks is that one or two very, very, very late picks will be accepted. See, all of these, they're early picks or, fairly like typical picks, like submitted about a week or so ago. That was submitted a year ago. This transparent aim sight Apocalypse Nomad LR300 was submitted back in July 2024. And very likely could be the resurgence of the Apocalypse Nomad site. Skin collection, sorry. I saw site, yeah, sorry. So anyway, I'm sure many of you have appreciated the likes of the AK, the M39. Unfortunately, with the Heatseeker MP5, the Nomad MP5 has dropped off. But yeah, these skins actually perform quite nicely, which is nice to see. But after the M39, Face Punch just didn't seem to want to accept any more skins. Well, apparently they do now, so okay, cool. Let's see if we could see more of that. So yes, in this roster, we have two pay-to-win aim sights, transparent aim sights. We have the transparent crossbow and the LR300. And to my surprise, that isn't selling that much. And also, to my surprise, that might be saying a little bit too much. And then we have like basically a fully transparent small box now. Like little by little, we kept getting more transparency in the small box. And now it's completely cut off. So yeah, things are getting a bit wacky with the creativity with transparency and whatnot. So okay. So overall, are you pleased with the Rustor for a Force White Rustor? How you feeling? I think it's all right. I can't complain too much. Of course, you might be sitting and saying, "Where's my tire tier 3? Where's my Black Alligator continuations? Why have we still not seen Island Assault hoodie and pants?" Ah, shut up. All right. I don't know. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes Face Punch will only accept like 2 pieces of a clothing armor set and then just forget about it. I know. It's silly, it's odd, it's strange. We don't get any explanations, but just get used to it. Sorry to say. Not the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. So, okay. Maybe we might randomly see it as an extra late pick in the future. That'd be pretty cool, but it's really tugging at my heartstrings right about now. But anyway, shall we go through all these skins now and talk about how, they're likely to perform in the future? And of course, talk about, are they going to potentially be nice investments? Are there any collection continuations we could look forward to? We need to talk about those boots. So, literally, the previous week, we had the Road Sun gloves. We had the weird big toes being accepted last week. I know some of you probably appreciated them. They did sell well, cool, but I still find it odd. Couldn't you just do the big toes this week and have both the pieces last week? Let's get to it. What's wrong? The main concern is it's been a good several hours since the roster rotated, and these already have 6,000 subscribers. Bare minimum sales. At least 6,288 people have bought those boots. It's not been a full day yet. After a full week, the gloves only did just over 18,000 subscribers, which was pretty good considering that's quite a fair bit less compared to the tier 3. And that's what pushed me to go ahead and buy 100 of them. Now, of course, with the boots appearing today, guess what? Oh yeah, the tier 3 is now pushing up to new all-time high prices, $6.50 and $8.50. Yep. And the gloves, well, they are just perfectly in a very good spot right now. As you can see, lowest listing is just under $2, but the barders, they're all building up more and more and more. That looks like it's going to have a very good time. It looks like it's just instantly going to be double the price. Now, personally, in the position that I'm in, you might sit there and say, "Oh, Hedge, you could just sell yours now and get some good profit." No. I want to wait for a collection continuation. I want to see Hoodie and Pants or Tier 2. And speaking of Tier 2, having spoken to the skin creator, he's actually visited on the stream. And hey, stream, chat, feel free to say hello to the YouTube video. He turned up and he said he is going to submit Island Assault Tier 2 this upcoming weekend. He said by July 6th. So, okay, cool. That's definitely something we're going to look forward to now. So, the boots, hopefully it's not going to be the last piece. The grey out collection very likely will flourish and become a lovely full set. Awesome. Wonderful. Thumbs up. Didn't actually intend to get to that picture, but that's a lovely coincidence. So, yes, you should start expecting more of this. But will we get all of it? That's the question, because I did kind of allude to the point of we're still kind of waiting to see Tire Tier 3, and we're still kind of waiting to see like the Black Alligator get them fully completed. Dare I say Deep Ruby? How could you say such a thing? So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But people really do seem to be liking this collection. They are very much behind it. They really do like the matte grey design. And, well, with those boots appearing, those gloves have just instantly gotten a very nice comfy spot. But the gloves, as I said, when we did the abnormal barders last night, they were basically sitting there at 17,000 subscribers. Now, of course, over the course of like the next 20 hours from then, another 1,000 subscribers appeared. Another 1,000 individual people bought the skin. And how many did they buy? We do not know. I'm one of those people, and I bought 100. How many people out there do you reckon bought also 100? Probably a few. So we don't fully know how many gloves are actually in circulation, but with the current rate of sales we're seeing here, I'm under the impression a lot of people are just assuming that those boots are going to end up exactly like the gloves and just instantly go up in price. And that's a worry, because if far too many people think that, how many of them do you reckon are going to end up on the Steam market and on third-party sites and whatnot? That's a concern. But if we get the Hoodie Pants, if we get the Tier 2, it doesn't matter. It's still spucking price. It doesn't matter. So everything's lined up quite nicely. A lot of people behind it. A lot of people like it. A lot of people want to see it progress. So should we go in game now? Give it a good look and, just talk about, does it look pretty? So let's hop to it. Now you'll notice I don't have the Tier 3 on. They might question that. But we've already kind of showcased this with the Tier 3 and the Hoodie and Pants and whatnot. I kind of wanted to give, a nice little showcase of the Hoodie and Pants. Some people have said, it looks a bit too plain. It looks a bit too, well, not that much. What are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. Do you like it? Would you be satisfied with that? Or do you reckon the skin creator might need to redo it, do a version 2? Offer your opinions, because he does look at my comment. He does look at my videos. He does read the comments and whatnot. So, there we are. The boots. They've been accepted. Could we see a full-fledged grey out collection actually happen? Will we see a lovely, cool henchman design? Because that's what I originally called it. Henchman, clothing and armour. I mean, you just give him all the funny hair. That'd be cool. You might be the weird frog man. I don't know. Shut up, Hedge. Right, anyway. Give that a good look. Doesn't reflect that much, and that is the beauty behind it. We already showed off last week, does it reflect that much when you go in and out of the darkness? No, it really doesn't. That's a pretty cool looking batch of clothing there. And those are some pretty cool looking gloves. They don't really look like roadside gloves, do they? But I don't think that's something you'd consider to be like super deceptive. When you see it, you know what it is. So, okay, cool. Looking pretty nice. Looking pretty impressive. Oh, not all the light went off. One's in the dark, one's in the light. Which one do you prefer? You tell me. So, okay, cool. Can't complain. Looks like it could progress quite nicely. Feel free to comment below your thoughts in regards to that. But also be careful. If you're going to go buy one pair for yourself, by all means, buy it. Treat yourself. Support the skin creator. But if you're looking at it as an investment, you probably might want to wait until next Wednesday. Sounds good? Cool. So, let's hop out of here and showcase the next skin. I saw one person comment, at some point we're just going to have like a plank of wood. People would like that though. They would. So yeah, this is what we're down to at the moment. Little by little, bit by bit, we're slowly losing all of our small boxes. It's got quite the haircut there. So of course that is what a standard small box looks like. And that is what this looks like. So Mr. Pritex, he actually appeared earlier. He said, you know what, I might as well do a large box next. So keep an eye out for that. That's what we're expecting next. So yeah, pretty cool. So you might be wondering, hey, does that happen to glow in the dark? Does that happen to, stand out quite nicely at night time? It doesn't. It doesn't. We'll see that in a second in total darkness. But just to confirm, it is not too reflective. You might even miss it as well during the day because there's not much of it. But there you go. Total darkness doesn't glow in the dark. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? How much further could we go for it to still be somewhat feasible and reasonable, but silly? Come on, tell me. Because why not, like, consider a cool idea for Halloween or Christmas? What could you do with a lot of transparency in a small box that could lead to a pretty cool idea themed around Halloween and Christmas? Because I was thinking about that. I was asking my chat earlier, and, well, comment below. So that's totally fine for what it is. But let's now hop out of here and discuss how might that do in the future in terms of being a nice investment. And so with that, so I'll go through my usual spiel of I don't really trust small box skins as investments. Last year we had the very impressive neon storages, and only now have they started to kind of actually like get anywhere. But even things like that suffered, you know, over the course of like the summer till this summer, they have not been doing that good, right? And then all of these, oh dear, oh dear. So some have stood out quite nicely. Some are part of very well-established collections that they just work out okay. Some, they kind of work out okay. But look at all these ones so far this year. Ooh, even Bamboo Cage, you're suffering. Fireflies, you're quite alright. I'd assume that's going to just suffer a bit because quite a lot of them did sell. Give it time, I'm sure it'll work out because, of course, you know, you can still hide it in the jungle and the foliage and the plants, the forests and the grass and whatnot. You're doing alright, and that's quite interesting, but apparently there's only a few listings, so give it time. And maybe, right, I'm sure you've heard about the cows. Maybe we could get a cow box. I did kind of allude to that in my Rust Workshop skin check, so anyway. Work Crate. You're a cool design, and clearly people are liking it. It's the second best selling skin so far. Would a continuation really matter that much? I've just had Mr. Arietta in the chat saying, you can just combo it with like the toolbox. And if you don't fully remember what the toolbox is, it's the red box, obviously resembling what we have in game. So let me just quickly showcase that to you. He's referencing that. Pair those together. Hey, that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty cool. But when it comes to a small box skin, do you prefer it to glow in the dark, stand out so you can see it and whatnot? Feel free to comment below. I've got to sit here and say, I am a little bit concerned. But I don't have to rush into making a buy order, it's normal. It's $2.49, so you know what? I'll wait till Wednesday. I'll look at the sales then, and I'll make considerations. It's the smartest way to go about it. There's a reason why I make such a fuss about abnormals, and it's usually the very first thing I talk about in every single Rust or rotation video. So that right there, I don't need to rush. But if you truly want one, go buy one for yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Show support to the skin creator. But other than that, if you really want to make an investment, yeah, okay, wait till Wednesday. Abnormal barders first, look at the support afterwards, then make considerations. Cool. Right then, so with that out of the way, shall we now talk about Stinger Crossbow? So, let's just get this point across. There is only one other crossbow with transparency, and it just so happens to be one of the most expensive crossbows we currently have in the game. Like, before we do any of that though, look at all of these recent crossbows. Red, 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 and then look at that, red, 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 red. Some of them are good, some of them, but red, 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 red. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the more expensive ones, the pricier ones, the ones that cost quite a pretty penny. So lots of these in the green, but I want to talk about Cargo HELI. Now earlier today, it was actually the third highest selling skin, but that's gone down a little bit, and I wonder why. But yes, if we could just quickly navigate over to here, because yes, I've already got it prepared. Come on, appear, go. There we are, thank you. Right, basically $8, but oh, someone started the list there, so they're getting a little bit antsy. So what's wrong? Well, we've just got a brand new transparent crossbow, haven't we? So, of course, they're going to have a bit of a panic. It's kind of like, you know, when we found out about the Silver Twitch drop with the transparency and that, and we realised that was going to be given away for free, quite a lot of us sold our Heat Seeker Sarge pretty quickly. I sold mine when they're $8 a piece. Now look at it. So you understand, there's a much more cheaper, affordable option. But if you aren't fully well aware, this came out in like 2022. It actually sold quite a lot, so let's also bring that up. Notice how this only has 4,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 89 subscribers, 13,785. Yeah, that's quite the difference. But it's the only transparent crossbow. Now, you might bring up Chomp crossbow and whatnot. No, sorry. It's not beneficial. It's not helpful. So what we need to do is we need to go do some comparisons, because we need to see, does this Stinger crossbow like really compare well to it? There are notable differences that you will see in a bit that will make you question, maybe it might be a little bit different, maybe it might be a little bit, well, you'll see for yourself. But at $2, that's the standard price for a weapon/tool skin. It's also not abnormal. So listen, by all means, if you like it, go buy it, treat yourself, all right? But as an investment, we do have to be a little bit skeptical, we do have to be a little bit wary, All right, we've got to wait until Wednesday. All right, we'll look at the sales then, and then we'll make considerations. But I've got to be honest with you, that probably is looking to be the most appealing skin this week in terms of investing. But you also have to consider, if that's been allowed now, what could follow it? Because I actually recently made a short video showcasing a certain crossbow that I thought had a very good chance of potentially being accepted, but it wasn't. That's the fish crossbow. See, that had some very cool creative... it had a very cool creative design for the transparency, so let's just go show you this, the most recent crossbows. Off we go. So here we are, most recent. We might see some pretty awkward looking ones, but come on, show me that fish crossbow. I need to see it. I want to show it. I must share it. And I've got to point out the workshop is kind of broken. Some people, have you noticed this issue where when you look at the accepted skins, it's showing you skins from like years ago? Yeah, that's broken. On this particular account, it's broken. So what I have to do is I have to go search for a fish skin instead. I know, but I could work around that. But just to point it out, yes, I'm seeing that too. But I have multiple accounts and they all kind of vary. So let's go ahead. We'll go look at the fish shoes. That's fine. And then we'll go to the workshop page and we'll see the collection. And then we'll go and give it a good look. So here we are, fish collection. The most recent submission was this crossbow. There you go. That was a phenomenal looking design. The fishing rods has the actual, like, you know, parts of it that stick out and whatnot, and the long line for the fishing rod line and whatnot. Like, that was awesome. That wasn't accepted. But what's stopping it from being resubmitted and potentially being accepted in the future? You know what I mean? What's stopping content creators from asking for a transparent crossbow in the future? It just happened to the Heatseeker SAR. That looked like a phenomenal, like completely unique skin that was going to have a very nice future ahead of it. And immediately, Bellum 3 Twitch drops, Silver SAR, completely the same transparent aim sight. Killed the price. So just be wary, all right? You've got to be aware of what's happening in the near future. And the next batch of Twitch drops, Fancy Ops event. That's happening in about 3 weeks' time. So the more you know. As far as I'm aware, though, I don't think we'll be seeing a crossbow for that. But who knows what happens later this year, all right? So just be wary, keep in the know. And of course, I'm always putting short videos out just to warn people. And I definitely warned people about a week or two before we had the Bellum event that Silver SAR was existing. Like, that was about to come out. That had the transparent aim sight. I'm not joking. Go look back. You'll see for yourself. All right, then. So, point made. Let's now go in game. Compare the brand new crossbow with a standard crossbow and the cargo heli crossbow. And we'll see. Maybe it could work out. Or maybe there could still be problems. You can offer your own opinions. Hedge, stop yapping. Let's go. Okay, so first of all, here we have the standard crossbow. Get a good look at that. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times in the past, so there you go. Right, so now let's compare to the cargo heli. So this, of course, costs about $7 at the moment. It was $8 earlier, but yeah, give that a good look. Notice the transparency that goes all the way across, but the inner parts, you know, you've got two metal platings there, two orange metal platings very close to the actual main body of the crossbow. Cool. Why am I making such a fuss about that? Because the difference is, when you look at the Stinger crossbow, you've actually got transparency pretty close up to the main body of the crossbow, but at the very end, it's like filled in. So there is a difference between cargo heli and this. So now I ask you, which one do you prefer? Does it really matter that much? Comment below. So yeah, looking pretty sweet, looking pretty cool. What's your opinions? Do you like? Do you like? Give it a nice little reload here as well. Pretty cool looking design, and it very likely might turn into a brand new collection. Delaray has produced some pretty cool skins in the past. You might be questioning, hey, does this happen to glow in the dark? Well, I'll confirm to you that no. Right, so if you're concerned about that, no, you've got nothing to worry about. And you can't really see that much either. Compared to the cargo heli, what did you expect, right? What did you expect? So, cool. We understand. We see it. We get it. So, yeah, $2. Are you buying one? And do you reckon that'll be A-okay? And is everybody aware? Is everybody aware? Because I don't think people are, because it's not like it's not like selling ridiculously at the moment. You might remember initially with the Heatseeker SAR, that took a few days. One TikTok video comes out and showcases it to everybody, and then suddenly everybody wants to buy it. It was steadily moving along. TikTok video, then it reached all the way up to about 40,000 subscribers. I'm sure you recall. So we'll see what happens with this. But yeah, keep an eye out, all right? This is why I normally say wait until the end of the week, or the tenure, the 7 days, and then make decision in regards to if you want to make an investment. And again, will we see anything that compares to this? Will we see anything else like this? Much like what I said with the Heatseeker SAR, again, Twitch drops, they can be a bit of a problem, especially for our investments. Now let's go ahead and showcase this on stage. Not that reflective. Can't complain with what I'm looking at. All right. Strike a pose, look pretty. Yes. So, do you like the design? And what would you like to see next? I know a lot of you are probably going to sit there and say, oh, I'd love to see a transparent bow. I've had this discussion already. Transparent bows aren't beneficial because with the way you're holding it, the transparency on the body, it only shows up to the sky. Oh, whoopee-doo, I can see the sky. The reason why it's so much more beneficial in regards to crossbows is because you can see the horizon. You can see a lot more in front of you. So, there's a little discussion there. So, yeah, there you go. Pretty cool design. Let's see if it works out nicely. And, yeah, I guess that's the end of that. So, should we now go ahead and showcase the next weapon skin? Wha-bam! Another No Mercy skin has been accepted. The largest collection we have in all of Rust. You may notice that very cool looking logo, the emblem that you see in all the skins. Give that a good look as we pan all the way around. Very nice. Very well crafted. Oh, yes. Now, let's take control. Aim down. So just to point out to you, yes, we've had some Twitch drops in the past that have had like transparent aim sights and whatnot. So let me just get nice and close out here. Quickly turn off the lights. I want to confirm to you that no, this does not have transparency, doesn't glow in the dark. But with its white color scheme, it does have very good night light. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you can see that pretty easily, pretty fine. So, okay, fair enough. So let's hop out of here. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? Like the design? Do you like the No Mercy collection? Are you happy to see even more of it? And, you know, let's give it a nice little reload. Pop that in. Yep. But let's also just kind of be aware that there's a good chance we'll probably see some more Twitch drops in the future. Like we did last year. Remember the Team Rocket rocket launcher with its, you know, glow in the dark aim sight and whatnot. You might see more of that perhaps in the future from someone else. And I thought it was going to go all the way over. So yeah, I mean, it's nice, but we've already had a few rocket launcher skins accepted so far this year. And how are they currently holding up at the moment? Yeah, we'll be talking about that. But also, I think we've only had like one white rocket launcher in the past, the antique one. You may recall that. How's that currently holding up? Because will people look at this and say, it's mostly white. Yeah, I'll probably like that. Use it in the snowy biome. I'm not sure if it really matters that much, but I think it'd be a nice thing to just consider. So let's quickly go show this on stage. Looking a little bit more shiny, this one. Yes, give that a good look. All right. Cool. So let's strike a pose and look pretty. And off we go. So, do you like... Go for the comment below. Get a good look at that nice star studded. What was that? Metal? I thought it was like diamonds for a second. Which wouldn't be too surprising because the skin creator behind this also made the Black Diamond collection. Very nice. Very cool. Nice. Right. So, yeah. Is it going to hold up? Is it going to be A-OK as an investment? We need to go ahead, go back in game, go back to SCM to APP, and yeah, make some comparisons, figure out what likely will happen to this. So let's hop to it. So yep, $2.49, and of course we have to mention the Black Ops rocket launcher and the Choco launcher. That's down by half, and that's down by a third of its value. Wow. So that is a bit concerning, because this was kind of building up to a pretty interesting collection, but of course it has lost a third of its value, down to $1.62. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, I should also bring up, somewhat recently, we have noticed quite a slump with the Rust skin prices as we've ended June 2025. The hope is we're still expecting a nice boost, very nice high peaking prices around July and August time. With today's Force Wipe, we have seen a pretty decent amount of people turn up. When it loads up, you'll see for yourself. Boom. Yeah, we peaked up to about 190,000. Hopefully over the course of the rest of this weekend, we'll probably go up even higher. And hopefully July as a whole will be better, considering that, well, you know, a lot of kids around the world are going to be out of school now. Mostly in North America and Europe, it will be the summer vacation, the summer holidays. But across the world, I am fully well aware, obviously, the seasons are different at different times. I know, you keep telling me, it's not summer here, I get it. But kids are, like, having time off now, aren't they? So everything seems to be coinciding quite nicely, and hopefully we do see a lot of people playing the game. More people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices. Cool. So, that, right now, it's the 4th best-selling skin so far. It is selling reasonably, not too excessively, but we've got to keep an eye on this still. I mean, it kind of looks like it might still reach up to, again, very rough estimate, probably around 20,000 subscribers, which would be fairly close to the Black Ops rocket launcher. But I did allude to this as well. We have the antique rocket launcher, and that is the only other white rocket launcher I'm aware of, and that is sitting there at $3.40 on the Steam market. 64 listings, looking pretty good, and it, of course, also has some very good BAR support. So, I mean, you also have Glory rocket launcher, and that's still doing good. That's black and white as well. That also came out back in 2019. It only had so many people buying it. And then that antique rocket launcher, that had 17,500 people buying it. Subscribers. Well, that'd be bare minimum sales. Okay, But then again, considering all the Twitch drops we've had over the years, maybe people just don't feel the need to go ahead and get, buy a new one because they're perfectly satisfied with the Twitch drops they've gotten. Also, Dragon rocket launcher, can't rule that out. So comment below. Are you eager? Are you interested? Or are you satisfied with what you've already got? It'd be interesting to see what your opinions are, what your responses are. Okay, so maybe we're better off for Barda because that is abnormal. So we'll do that Wednesday night and we'll see how that turns out afterwards. And now it's time to talk about a garage door. Another one. Another jungle theme one. Yippee. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a perfectly fine looking design produced by Mr. Kosem, who's made many interesting skins in the past. Glows in the dark, as you can clearly see. But the main point I'm trying to get across is, number one, how many garage doors we had so far this year. As of now, it really looks like we're going to be having a record-breaking amount. Last year we got 34, which was the previous record-breaking amount. And the year before that, it was 28. And then like the year before that, we had 28 as well. So we keep seeing more and more and more and more. And the point I'm trying to get across is whilst we've got a lot of garage doors, we've also had a lot of jungle-themed ones. So jungle. Point made. It's probably going to be more as well. Just saying. So it's nice. It looks nice. I don't think it's going to hold its price. Selling at $3. Oh, I mean, that sold at $2.49. That sold at $2.49. That sold at $2.49. That sold at $3. That sold at $3.49. That sold at $2.49. Half its price, half its price, half its price, almost half its price, half its price, almost half its price. Yeah, problems. So, basically, I'm concerned. All right? But by all means, if you like the design, if you think it looks cool, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator. We've said that many times. I'm sure you get the point by now. Should we go in game, give it a good look, and, just appreciate what we see? So, go on it. Let's go do that. So, of course, I had to put the jungle building skin right next to it. But, yes, get a good look at that face. Get a good look at that mossy detail. Yes. I don't mean to sound so introspective. But, yes, no, it looks nice. Looks cool. I think a lot of people would appreciate something like that. A reasonable price. But, yeah, $3. It wouldn't surprise me if it drops off. Anyway, with the lights right next to it, you can see that we do see quite a bit of reflection. Looking pretty sweet. Not super in your face, but it does reflect quite a fair bit. Look at that nose. Nice and shiny. But let's now pull back a fair bit and turn off the lights. And as you can see, that's a super prominent looking design. Yes, you can see that from way, way, way far away. So look at that smile. Look how happy he is to see you. So, by all means, if you like it, you go buy it. You go give him a home. I've got to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if it drops from price afterwards. Maybe it does slow down. Maybe it doesn't get that many sales after, a few days. Okay, cool. That's abnormal. We can pace ourselves. We can wait until Wednesday. We can look at the amount list, how many sales it has by then, and then make considerations around then. So, cool. Awesome. Right then. So, that's up to you. But like I said, we've already had a lot of similar designs and themes and garage doors, and there will be more. There will be more. There will be more Twitch drops, and oh yes, there will be. Anyway, it is what it is. So, shall we go ahead and move on and showcase the next skin? And what do we see right here? Ah yes, collection continuation for the training collection. Now, not too long ago, we saw some interesting. Was it complete the sets acceptances? I recall we had some road sign gloves. We had a jacket, and that quite literally did complete the clothing and armor set. I ask you now, do you consider backpacks to be clothing and armor? Well, it does add to it, Should consider that and whatnot. It's not like it gives you extra defense, does it? But anyway, It looks like a perfectly fine addition. But I should point out, have we had like a good decent amount of black backpacks already? You might be concerned by that, but I'll sit here and say, you know what, that's a good thing to compare to. You can see how they've performed over the past year or so, and maybe they actually have worked out quite nicely as of recent. So yeah, give that a good look. Are you impressed? Do you like it? I could also turn off the lights as well, so give that a good look. Now, of course, we have the stage lights, so let's sort of turn those off. So there you go. Yeah, doesn't glow, but maybe the white stripe probably stands out with the night light. Do you see it? I don't really see it that much, so no need to be concerned about that. Let's say there. I really didn't see it. So yeah, okay. I think it looks cool. I think it looks nice. I think a lot of people appreciate that with their training collection, or just use it with Blackout or Legacy Kevlar or the various other Blackout alternatives. But just to point out, training did come before Blackout, right? It's not a Blackout it's not a Blackout alternative. It's its own thing. Yeah, let's hop out of here and talk about the possibilities. So yeah. All right, so let's just remind you of the training collection. This came out in 2020. Yeah, no, 2019. All right, so bits and pieces have appeared here and there, but yeah, this came out before Blackout. It's its own thing. This was appreciated quite a lot, but then Blackout kind of came out, and that kind of took up all the glory. So as of recent, we have seen some complete the sets. We saw the road sun gloves finally being accepted, then the jacket, and they did work out quite nicely. There's a whole set here that is beloved, so this does have a home, right? It's a funny way of saying it, but you get what I mean. So there is definitely going to be something to pair up with it and whatnot. How much is it going to sell? We'll see. Just to remind you, the hoodie pants did 13,000, 14,000 subscribers. Tier 2 to about 10,000. Tier 3 to about 15, 16,000. If it sells a reasonably similar amount, I think it'd be okay. But of course, I did allude to this. We have other backpacks that are black, and that of course being the Blackout backpack and the Legacy Kevlar. So fairly recently, these did rise up in price very nicely. You can see I've changed this to dollars now. Well, what happened? As I said just a little bit earlier, we had a bit of a slump as we went through June. This at one point was selling for about $3.50 to $4. This was actually doing very, very good. Even after it did what? How many subscribers? Let's just remind you, 55,000 subscribers almost. There's tons of these in circulation, and yet still it managed to recover because there's still demand for it. Alternatively, we also have the Legacy Kevlar backpack. Now, this sold a much more reasonable amount. It was like 25,000 subscribers. Just to confirm, it was 24. 24. Well, that also recently went all the way up to its restore price and beyond. So, again, same thing. June's been a bit of a slump. As you'll see here, it rose all the way up to about $3+, but it has been trending downwards. Point is, when times are good, these go up in price quite nicely. They could sell tons and they still work out quite nicely. So, training backpack, if I was to just kind of project, consider what might happen next, well, I'm thinking it'll probably end up between 10 to 15,000 subscribers. Very rough estimate. And if that's the case, I think it's going to be A-OK. I see no issues with that. I see no problems with that. Maybe I'll still stick with doing a buy order to, try and pick these up for a cheaper price. Thinking more about the long term, September, October, November, the autumn fall seasonal dip. Yeah, it might dip in price a fair bit, but I think that's actually looking pretty reliable. I'm looking at it with some positivity. But again, Blackout, Legacy Kevlar backpacks, they dipped in price initially, but then they've recovered recently. That took a good, half a year? A bit more? Yeah, so consider that. It is looking appealing, and by all means, if you like it, go ahead, buy one for yourself. That's also abnormal, so we could do the early buy orders and look at the support afterwards, and yeah, it should be alright. So, looking pretty interesting, looking pretty cool. Can't complain too much, so we'll leave it at that. Modern military sat, also known as the military sat. So, okay, cool. Another military skin has been accepted. It's pretty successful so far, with 18 skins so far. Another sap, though. By default, I'm not really upset with sap skins, but I've got to bring this up. How many we had accepted so far this year? Quite a few, yes. Last year we had 9 in total. Halfway through this year, we've just passed the halfway point. Yeah, it's closer to the next Christmas compared to the most recent Christmas. Well, actually, no. But yeah, you get the idea. We have now got 7 skins in total. And there very likely might be some more. And who knows, maybe a Twitch drop or 2. We got 3 in a row. 3 weeks with the jungle stuff. That's down a fair bit. That's down quite a bit. That's down a little bit. And that's down by a quarter. Ooh. You're not the highest selling skin at the moment. That's fine. You do slot in quite nicely with military collection, which of course the clothing and armour is doing pretty good at the moment. It's been appreciated, even after these sold absurd amounts that still worked out nicely. The weapons aren't exactly doing super great, but a SAP, by default, a SAP, they don't really go down in price that much. They don't crash and burn. They don't go all the way down to like less than $1. They tend to do quite alright. So honestly, yeah, you're not abnormal, but I think I would probably just stick with doing a buy order. I'll probably do like $1 to $1.50. Now, if you want to go ahead and buy one for yourself, by all means, go. Grab, get, take, enjoy, appreciate, yeah? Perfectly fine look at design, which you'll see in a second, and honestly, there's not much else I can say, so let's go showcase it. Well, bam. Get a good look at that. So, very nice, useful redeem site. No transparency or anything. I know a lot of people are very eager for the heat seeker, SAP. But I'm fine with this. I got no issue. So yeah, what are your thoughts, your opinions? Feel free to comment below. Quick look at night time. No glow, no prominent night light, which is fine. Can't complain. It's mostly like dark brown, isn't it? So okay, cool. Give it a quick few shots. Give it a nice little reload. Give that a nice look. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. And yeah, maybe we'll see some more military skins being accepted fairly soon. Right, so let's go ahead and showcase this on stage. Kind of reflective. Kind of shiny. Alright, sweet, can't complain. Right, strike a pose, look pretty, and off we go. Alright, so. I got no issues. But Mr. Robstar, you have got quite a lot of collections going on at the moment. Where's my fallen sap, huh? Where's my sap made out of bones? Actually, that sounds really cool. Consider it, please. Actually sounds like a really cool idea. Make a whole series of weapons made out of bones of my enemies. Yes. Next month, the unfriendly update. So, okay, cool. Perfectly fine looking set. I see no issue with it. Maybe it doesn't instantly go up in price and become a huge, crazy investment, but they tend to be reliable, right? So, a nice thing that we'll consider, and yeah, so that's it. Let's go ahead and showcase the next weapon. And look at this little fella. So yes, another Croco skin has appeared. We have the Croco bolt-action rifle. Now, very recently, we of course just had the Bellum Twitch drops. We have the Elxocast bolt-action rifle being given away for absolutely free. And you might realise this skin isn't exactly selling too ridiculously at the moment, is it? No, it does not. So, that could be a benefit. That could work out quite nicely. But the Croco skins in general, with all of them being weapons, they haven't exactly done well. That's a nice way of putting it. But, yeah, no, they've kind of all gone down in price. You'll see for yourself in a minute when we do some comparisons and whatnot. But this is still a very nice looking bolt action rifle. Very creative. Little ranger. You've done a spectacular job. So, let's quickly go ahead, take control, aim down. I like the little exclamation point, little symbol there. Give that a nice little inspection. Hello, Toothy. How you doing? And then aim down. Give a nice little reload. Pop that back in, and we're good to go. Right, sweet. So yeah, looking pretty cool. Now, should I quickly go put on a, little scope on as well? Aha! Yes, observe. Very nice. Got himself like a nose ring. Yeah, alright, that's looking pretty sweet. So, cool. And of course, quick look at night time. Yeah, no glow. No worries about that. What about the eyes? Do they stand out? Is that super noticeable? Honestly, I don't see too much of a problem. Maybe don't snipe at night. So, okay, cool. Maybe I should take the scope off, just to see how it is with, without it. So, because we've got to test out and see if, like, hey, does it have good night light? I mean, can you see it? Is it super visible? Feel free to comment below. Right then. So, perfectly fine looking bolt action rifle, but is it going to hold up? I'll talk about that in a bit. But cool. First of all, let's go on the stage. Yeah, sort of reflective. I like the bump map on that. Looking pretty sweet. Alright then, strike a pose, look pretty, and off we go. Yes, very cool looking design. And I guess we'll be seeing more of this collection now. But what weapon skin would you like to see next? We've already had a double barrel shotgun. We've already had a SAP, an AK-47, and now bolt action rifle. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't say no to like a pump shotgun. That'd be pretty cool. I know we just had the cock. I know, but what about the croc? Come on, that was cool. Right, anyway, so let's go ahead, look at this in SMM and consider what might potentially happen next. So Croco, let's go give you a good look. And as we can see, it's not looking very pretty. Yes. $1.23, half the price there for the double barrel shotgun. SAP's only slightly down, not too bad. AK, ooh, worse than half. It's down worse. So, bolt action rifles. We don't really tend to see them that much, do we? Last year we did get a few marketable ones, if I can recall. We had Twitch drops. Yes, okay. So we had 1, 2, and a Christmas one. Junkernaut, you didn't do very well. You are down in price by quite a significant amount, almost half. Self bolt action rifle, not too bad, but still quite down a bit. But the Krampus one, very cool looking Christmas themed design and whatnot. I get the feeling people appreciate it because it's kind of like white, and perhaps people are using it with white out and whatnot. But again, to remind you, pretty cool looking design. So around Christmas time, maybe that gets bought out even more. We shall see. But yeah, that's holding up. That's in the positive. So yeah, looking back, I've got to remind all of you, there was like a 2-year gap where we didn't see a bolt action rifle skin being accepted. So when you look at the older ones, they're all basically mostly in the positive. A few here and there aren't exactly doing super great. But the more recent ones, it's been a bit more iffy compared to I feel confident. So we'll see how much this sells. Maybe it could be like the Chameleon bolt action rifle, which didn't sell that much and progressed quite nicely. Or maybe due to the collection not exactly doing super great, probably doesn't do very well. If you need one, by all means buy one. But that is not abnormal. That is a concern. That is a bit of a worry. I might just stick with doing a buy order. I want to see what the sales look like. But I wouldn't be surprised if you could just pick this up with a cheaper buy order at some point in the future. Honestly, you could say that for everything. But for this in particular, I'm not super convinced and confident with the Croco collection at the moment. Sorry to say. So, here's what it is. But hey, if you truly liked it, stand up right now and comment below and tell me, hey, I actually like it. I want to keep him and pet him and, you know. Cool. Awesome. You do you. But I now need to move on. Apocalypse Nomad LR300. I'm kind of surprised to see this as the lowest selling skin. Now, okay, perhaps it's because people don't like the style. Fair enough. But it's all by design, you know? So this was actually supposed to have like a clothing armor collection to go with it. It's all like per the design of the Nomad hazmat. So you've had like some very rugged, damaged, worn out clothing, weapons and whatnot. Hence the design with the transparent aim sights, because they're actually worn out. That was all the intention. I get the feeling people just don't seem to like that. Fair enough. If we got a full set of it, I think it would actually work out nicely. So, hey, let's see if we get hoodie and pants again at some point in the future. We'll see, we'll see. Best of luck to Dark Schneider and Zed Skipper, but maybe I just need to resubmit it. But let me also remind you, LR300s. Are you using the weapon prominently and appreciating it? Because judging by what I see with the weapons, the skins, it kind of comes across that people aren't liking it and appreciating it, and it looks like people do not care to buy skins for it, because judging by the value of the skins, in which I'll hopefully show you in a second. There you go, took its time. I thought it was going to break then. Down bad, 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 yeah. All of these are down pretty bad. Even the Popstar LR300. That's actually a collection of weapon skins that are doing quite alright at the moment, except that one. Elysium, $3.49 skin, all the way down to less than $1. Ooh. And here's a funny thing. The Azure Snake LR300. See, when this first appeared, I didn't actually realise, but this also has a transparent aim sight. So, just to confirm, transparent aim sights, this actually came out before Heatseeker. So, if you're going to complain about who got this all started, it's not Vase, it's actually Cryo. Yes. Attack him instead. But anyway, so yeah, that came out, and that's now sitting there at half its price. Awkward. Yes, yes. Now, again, if I could just quickly point out Apocalypse Nomad weapons, you'll notice that we've got like an AK, and that's not doing too bad. Most AKs would just go down to about half its price, but that one is only down by a quarter. If I do recall, I think Wiltshire used it in his video. So if you go look at sales history, you might notice. Oh, it randomly goes up a price at one point. Try and find out when that video happened, the Wiltshire video, and you might notice exactly. Like, yeah. So, okay, cool. People are aware that this has a cool transparent aim sight, but we've gotten Twitch drops and whatnot. They've had even less less of like view, more transparency is what I'm trying to say. So as a whole, it's not exactly looking super great, but maybe it could still work out with a smart buy order. Maybe it could work out very nicely because it's the lowest selling skin at the moment. definitely a lot to consider. Like, if we actually had the Heatseeker LR300 right now, would that be the top selling skin? And would it actually retain its value? Yes, there's a lot behind it based on the fact that the collection as a whole was in demand. But I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. This collection doesn't appear to be very in demand. That right now clearly doesn't show it. The weapon itself is the problem as well. Yeah, considerations. You can comment below if you like it or not. And of course, I've got to show it as well. But I am concerned. All right? So let's hop in game now, give it a good look. And after we've done all that, then you can make your conclusion. So let's hop to it. All dented, smudged, dirty. Oh my. But when you're in the war-torn desert, when in the warfare, unfortunately, you've got to make good with what you got. Right? So, take control, I aim down, and yes, there's that lovely transparency. Now, there could be a lot more of it, just saying. You could remove those two side panels, but that's what you're getting. And as I've already mentioned, LR300 SAP, that was the most recent skins Heatseeker submitted to the workshop, but this was accepted, and the military SAP was accepted instead. So perhaps you can just quash the idea of potentially seeing like a Heatseeker LR300 or a SAP being accepted anytime soon. That might need to have like a version 2 at some point in the future. But yeah, can you see the aim sight there? It does stand out. I can see the red aim sight right there. That's looking pretty sweet. You probably still want to use like a aim sight, holo sight and whatnot. But yeah, okay, so give that. Oh, no ammo. I'll give a nice quick reload. But what is your opinion? Do you not like that? Or would you overlook that for the benefit of the aim sight for comment below? And, well, how much does this actually sell by the end of the week? Maybe it does less than 10,000 subscribers. Maybe it does work out quite nicely. I do recall the MP5 and the AK-47 have been in the positive quite nicely for a while, but then it wasn't. Oh dear. So, yeah. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and showcase this on stage. Hold on a second, I should quickly showcase to you, like, this is what a standard LR300 looks like. This is what the Apocalypse Nomad looks like. Yeah, now you can see the differences. Yeah, back again. Here you go. Not that reflective, is it? No. Well, let's go over to here. Strike a pose, look pretty, and here we are. So, yeah. Feel free to tell me your opinions. Feel free to comment below. I'd love to read what you say, and yeah. So, it is what it is. But we could probably start seeing more of this collection now. It very likely will be reinvigorated with the very random extra late pick. Because that has been on the workshop for over a year now. But today, it's been accepted. Right then, so let's go hop out of here and, you know, wrap this up in terms of what other things we need to discuss. Now, just to remind you, this is abnormal. It'd be very interesting to see what happens next. And who knows, maybe in the future, LR300s actually get like a proper buff. Won't be the first time, will it? Anyway, so we'll see. So I'll have to keep an eye out, keep track of the sales. You get the idea. So overall, not a huge rush store, but some interesting collection continuations have appeared. 2 pay-to-win aim sight skins have appeared. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Probably not, no. You're never happy. Right, okay, so let's just quickly talk about some interesting things to look forward to. So, with it now being a force wipe, we can look forward to potentially some brand new content being worked on. So, let's hop back over to here. Let's quickly remind you that, of course, with this brand new blog post, we have this little video here. Now, in this video, we could probably skip 2 different parts. It goes over like the many updates we've had so far this year. There's the Angry Kitty for the jungle update and whatnot. But they did kind of give us like a bit of a preview. So as we, you know, move over to here, got these guys on the beach. You got what looks like Viking vessels in the distance. Now, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and say, surely we could see some more barbarian skins now if we're going to see stuff like that. I'm just saying, hopefully. Anyway, so this obviously alludes to the next major update, which of course is going to be the naval update. So I'm going to talk about like things that we're hoping to see in the near future and how it's all lining up perfectly to kind of matching up like last year. But also, of course, in this you also happen to see the brand new hazmat, or rather a teaser of it. That is the pilot hazmat. And if we could just quickly hop back over to the commits, I want to point out that there has been mentions of apparently a Codelock skin. Yes, apparently the first ever Codelock skin is being worked on, and it's going to be part of this DLC. Now, I'm under the impression this is going to be something you're only going to see in DLC. Certain things like this, like, oh, how come we don't have skin creators being able to make TC skins? Because Face Punch wants to be the only ones who do that. Who knows what this Codelock's going to look like, but it's going to probably look pretty cool. It's going to look really out there. That's probably the best way I can explain it. Wait and see, but look at the standard TC and look at the special DLC one that they have out, and the server one. I can't remember the name. Byte something. I can't remember the name. Sorry about that. I'm kind of trying to roll on. So yes, that is apparently being worked on, and I think, judging by if I can recall what Mr. Shadowrack said, that's going to be out next month. That's the intention. And over to here. Well then, naval update. Ghost ship. Did you ever watch the movie Ghost Ship? I would love to see something like that as a monument. A spooky haunted boat. That'd be cool. Cruise liner. Anyway, that's expected to come out in October. So I need to go back and showcase this to you, because we need to discuss what happened last year and discuss what potentially might be lining up perfectly with this year. So, of course, we had a pretty good summer. We saw the average player count of over 90,000 throughout all the summer last year. In July and August, we saw prices peaking to new all-time highs. Wonderful time. But inevitably, September, October, November, I always sit here and say, it's the autumn-fall seasonal dip. Yes, I'm aware seasons are different. You are, shut up. Still remains. September, October, November, most skins will drop down in price and reach their new lowest price point for that year. And of course, we're expecting that fairly soon, because we're about to roll into October, aren't we? But typically, I'd say, usually during like September, October, November, that is where we see like the player count drop. And if you could look at the previous year, you'll notice that we had a very strong summer, and then it goes to that. We lose a third of the player count because kids go back to school. Ah, okay, that makes sense. But what happened last year? Why did we go from 76,000 to 89 and then 95,000? Because in October, the World Update came out, and lots of very curious people jumped in and wanted to see that for themselves. And that proved to be very successful, because we had a very, very strong end of the year that resulted in us having a phenomenal start to this year, where we reached a new all-time high peak player count. Now, if we're going to see the Naval Update coming out in October again this year, well, that sounds pretty appealing. And yes, with the little teaser for what we can see in that video. So if you've seen like the board here pointing out what you can do, apparently you can make a base in the ocean now. Make a brand new boat. You quite literally actual base. So I wonder what that's going to open the door towards. And like, is C4 going to work in the water? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of very curious people are going to want to jump in and have fun with that. Will the boat battles and whatnot? Will Pirate Collection go up in price? Will we get a Pirate DLC? We'll get a pirate hat and an eye patch and a parrot for my shoulder. We'll see. All right? I'm asking, please, Face Punch. Also, it makes sense because it's October, and that means we can wear it for the Halloween as fancy dress. Come on. It's a good idea. Please. Right, anyway, so that's all lining up perfectly of October time. We are aware of that. That's cool. That's nice. Sweet. So, what about, like, January? Because January Force Wipe for 2025 was the 2nd of January. Well, I'm very happy to tell you the Force Wipe will be the 1st of January. Oh, okay. So you're telling me that a lot of people are probably going to struggle to get out of bed for Force Wipe in January? Probably. Well, Europeans will probably be right. The younger kids might be right. Oh, I feel bad for those Americans. Oh, no. So, yeah, it's the 1st of January. Everything's lining up perfectly where we could see basically everything happen all over again. And if you can recall, January earlier this year, a good half a year ago now, yes, time's passed quickly, we saw phenomenal prices. Lots of people turned up, lots of people playing, prices reaching new all-time high prices wonderfully, like that happened in multiple skins and whatnot. Like, that was awesome. So if that's lining up nicely, I hope I've given you a nice little look into the future, a nice little glimpse to be a little bit more positive. So we'll see how that lines up. And I haven't even got started about cows. I still don't know what cows are going to be for. But you know what? We probably should look at the likes of that and consider, I've already I've already asked Mr. Milho Frito, you know, maybe we might want to see another couple of those skins being ready for the, you know, the release. I'm just saying. Jacket, rocket launcher, something like that. Maybe a sleeping bag. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so that's cool. That's nice. We'll see how this all rolls out. But yeah, June wasn't that nice because there just wasn't really anything for it. May got a good big fat update, but June didn't get anything. And June slumped. And of course, less people started to play. And of course, prices started to dip. So hopefully things are better for July and August, please. I'm hoping. I really am. All right then. So yes, Naval update is the main thing that's being worked on. I'm not sure what other smaller scale side things are being worked on now, but cows is one of them. Cows is one of them. What else is going to come with cows? Don't know. That's expected to probably be released potentially in the next month or two. So keep an eye on the commits. It's linked in the description. You can be aware of all the things Facepunch are currently working on. You get the idea. Oh, new menu. I don't think that will have that much of an impact on us, but it's still nice to see. So yeah, you can see what they're working on. And yeah, point made. All good. I think we're happy. I think we're pretty chill. So yeah, can't complain. Right, so that is essentially everything that needed to be addressed. I should also point out, once again, if you want to be aware of all the new skin submissions and whatnot, consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks, which unfortunately the thumbnail is not showing. But we did get a couple early picks today, and all the collection continuations are chaptered, as you can see right here. So just keeps you on your toes and aware of what could have been accepted as well. Like I said, I saw all the friend-themed skins and not a single one was accepted today. Ooh, awkward. So it is what it is. And what's over here on my Twitter? Oh, just some recent things I was retweeting. Yeah, there's the first ever world record in Rust. Mr. Kino, you may know of him with his short videos, he's apparently got a Guinness World Record now because he made the highest ever base in Rust. So that's pretty sweet. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a video for that out soon. So cool. Yeah. Who else out there can claim they have a Guinness World Record in Rust? Well, maybe you want to go ahead and try. Alright then, so that's it. That seems to be a wrap. Shall we go ahead now and properly finish off this video? 1, 2, 3, okay. I definitely showed off all the skins today this week, right? Yep, good, right. So last week we had a bit of a stumble, didn't we? We didn't show off the AK. And I do apologise about that. I haven't let that slip. I made a big mistake and that's on me. Before we leave, could you just quickly confirm if you happen to like the design of this garage door with the fire lit right next to it? It does look quite ferocious. It does look quite ominous. So yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Definitely a consideration if you're questioning if you happen to like the garage door. So yeah, that does seem to be a wrap. Kind of felt a bit quick this week, he says, but then when he stitches it all together and edits it, oh no, Hedge, it's over an hour again. But yes, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for the shorts as well, because we'll be keeping an eye on those interesting brand new workshop submissions. Could we see even more salvaged ice pick skins being submitted? Could we see, I don't know, the Heat Seeker hoodie and pants? Could we see more of Stinger collection, other transparent designs? Could we see, oh, I don't know, maybe a Big Toe collection continuation perhaps? Where's my Big Toe hat? Come on now, I need it. Oh, that you could get like a stubby toe thing. Oh, boonie house. Oh. So yeah, there's nice things to look forward to. Feel free to comment below what you'd like to see, and do you feel positive and happy for what we're about to see in the near future? And of course, fairly soon, we'll be able to see those brand new Twitch drops for Fancy Ops event. And when I have them within my grasp, I'll showcase them immediately to the best of my ability. So once again, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you all later. Saying goodbye.